Howdy ho, everyone. How are you doing? My name is Sharon Combs, and this is Casey Prew. Casey is with us. So many of you probably already know Casey just from different platforms or from visiting so many different hospitals. She is big on sterile processing, on celebrating sterile processing, and just if you know anything about Casey, you know she loves people. She loves people. She's going to carry that gift of love. You'll feel it when you talk to her. She's warm, affable, affectionate. She's just good people. And so today I wanted to ask her a few questions about some of the things I've seen her doing online recently. So before we get too deep into that, you guys know what to do. Share this video. If you haven't followed us, then go right now and hit the like button and the subscribe so you too can be notified when Knowledge and Nonsense or any of the shows on our platform show up so that you can keep up, catch up, be in the know with what's going on with us. So that's enough about that. Now, Casey, I have noticed just this month, I know that you've been highlighting different people. I've seen you highlighting women, highlighting different people in the industry at different levels of the organization. So what inspired you to highlight people like this, to highlight these personnel?
Thank you, Sharon, and thank you for having me on this evening. I tell you what really has inspired me. It all started when I started doing hospital tours, and I was going into sterile processing departments, and I was visiting with all levels of sterile processing: technicians, leads, supervisors, managers, directors, and really seeing the warm community. I mean, sterile processing is really the heart of the hospital. Oh. And everyone is just so generous, so warm and receptive when I come in. I'm coming in there to thank them for all that they do. And it's like, I want to do something for these amazing people. This profession that in my opinion, is undervalued. And I hear it every time I go into a sterile processing department. Yeah. These professionals, they are professionals. These are sterile processing professionals. It doesn't matter if you're entry level or you're at the highest peak. You are a sterile processing professional. And I don't believe that they get enough recognition from the hospital. And also one thing that really upset me was when I would go into a hospital that maybe I wasn't familiar with, and I would ask, where's your sterile processing department?
And they're like, what?
9 times out of 10, they would be like, what's that? I don't know. And I'm like, okay. I was very polite. And I explained to them, well, in simplistic form, these are the professionals that are responsible for cleaning and sanitizing the instruments that allow you to be able to have a successful surgery, an operation or testing. And they're like, really? I didn't know that. And sure, some hospitals, it's called central sterile. Some are called,
sterile SPD,
exactly.
Supply. Sterile supply,
exactly,
VA. The VA is definitely supply.
So in my own world, I wanted to start recognizing these amazing sterile processing professionals. That is what inspired me, is I wanted, even though I have just a little voice, I wanted to start recognizing these professionals. I'm trying to do it on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, I want to get their permission first. I ask permission if I can spotlight you. I want to talk about it, the wonderful things that you contribute to this profession. And this is what inspired me, because I wanted to start acknowledging these amazing individuals that work so hard and very seldom get a thank you.
Yeah, and they do an amazing job. Mm-hmm. They do an amazing job. When I came into this field, I came from a leadership background. All the books behind you might give that away. But I came from a leadership background, but working with the individuals in this field, I was like, man, these people are cool. These people care.
They do.
These people are smart. Like it's so many instruments and the pacification, just knowing all that you have to know. So that's a large body of knowledge to just hold in your head. To just hold in your head. And so even with IFUs, sometimes the IFU can be a lot of pages. And you have to. So yeah, no, I was like, these individuals are really doing an amazing job. And I didn't understand. For me, I didn't understand, if they hold so much of the knowledge, why are they not in more of the leadership roles? Which is why I, way back in like 2014, 2013, I started devising that leadership program, because I was like, hey, no, they know this stuff. So they need to be in these seats where decisions are being made.
Yes.
I mean, I don't care how cool you are, and I don't care what college you went to. If it's coming down to the instruments and who's taking care of the instruments, who's making sure that things are sterilized, are clean, because you can't sterilize. You can sterilize dirt, but it's going to be burnt on there, so it's not really sterile. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, the individuals who need to be in these roles of decision making are the people who truly know the industry. So what can we do to bridge that gap? And so I am big on that too. I'm big on just acknowledging people. So you're spotlighting individuals. You did a lot of women, but it's not limited to women. How do you decide or choose? Because I know you're someone who moves by the heart. You're like, oh, this is, I was inspired. Like you operate from inspiration a lot of times. And so how do you select the individuals that you want to spotlight?
Thank you for asking that question, Sharon. I get recommendations many times. Obviously, in my position, my role, I'm vendor neutral. A lot of times vendors will say, Casey, this is an amazing supervisor, manager, amazing technician.
Yeah.
And or this technician just got certified. We're so proud of him or her. Many times it's through a vendor that has spoken very highly of this individual. Many times it's at a facility that I go and visit. Maybe I interact with someone in the C-suite. Maybe I interact with a fellow department, and they're like, oh, this person, they're so great at what they do, and I wish there was something I could do. When people share those compliments with me, I love to, it's like, well, even again, with my small voice, I love to share how valuable this individual is, and how this department is like, we couldn't do this without you. You have truly inspired us. And why not recognize them? And so, again, usually a vendor, hospital, they'll tell me about this amazing individual, and it's like, I want to do my little part to acknowledge how special they are.
That's really, I like that you do that. I know you've heard the saying where it says the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So I am a little opposite of that, because maybe, and it could be to my role, things that I get to do. I don't have to do, I get to do. And that's another thing too, just in looking at things more positively, instead of saying, oh, I have to do this or I have to do that. No, I get to do this. Like, I get to do this. There are worse things that could be done. Like, I get to do this. It's an honor and privilege. But back to squeaky wheel getting the oil. When I see someone that's high performance, low maintenance, I often don't shout it from the rooftops, but I will reward that. Like, I try to reward the things like you're rewarding. I try to reward what someone is doing just because they're doing it, not because I've walked in a room or they know, like, they're in the window, so they're operating differently. But people who really do just, I don't know, sometimes, like, people are out and you need somebody to cover, and everyone's tired and they want to go home, but for whatever reason they say, hey, you know what, I'll come in early or I'll stay just a little later. And to me, that's amazing. And I'm not saying do that all the time. I do believe in taking care of yourself, people. Self-care is real. But when I see someone who gives like that, like, I always want to, like, do something. Just not for them to go and say something to everybody else, but just anything. I don't care, a $10 gift card for some Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? Okay, appreciate you coming in early. you probably were a little tired. Let the coffee be on me today. Let it be on us today. And so I do like to reward that as well, because oftentimes people give the squeaky wheel, the oil,
Yeah.
and the wheels that are just turning, 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 not squeaking, but still carrying the load. Sometimes they don't get the recognition or the celebration or even the validation. You can have internal validation, but you can also have external. And so, have you had what about the ones that you yourself have the opportunity to work with or interact with? How do they get selected for the spotlight? Y'all just connect, or you just see?
All of the above. All of the above. Like I said, in my personal opinion, when I walk into a sterile processing department, I mean, I feel like every time I walk through the doors, they're celebrating me, and I'm like, no, 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 I want to celebrate you. Just the nicest people in healthcare. I mean, maybe I'm being a little bit biased, but they're just so warm and welcoming, and they love people coming in and visiting with them and showing appreciation. But again, it's just it's all about. I mean, some of the people that I personally have worked with and interacted with, yes, I might be a little bit biased, but all of this comes with. I'll use our most recent elected HSPA president-elect, Miss Arlene Bush.
Yes, Arlene, doing it. She's a friend of the show.
Yes, and you know what? She, because I've only been 3 years in SPD. My background is business and marketing, business development. But Arlene has been she's always been so gracious. I was asking her, hey, I know I've got transferable skills, but, what do you think about me getting certified? And she was like, yeah, Casey, that's great. I think you should do it. I asked her opinions, and she's just always very receptive. And it's like, wow, she takes the time of her day just to answer a question for me. And Tamara Heacock, she's another one. She's been super, super amazing. And I met her a couple of years ago. Same thing. I love learning from people. And she was gracious enough to just, share, her opinions, or, she brought value. She brought value, and that meant so much to me. And again, they're not all managers. There's some that are up, up and coming in the ranks. There's some at smaller hospitals like Danielle Williams. She's absolutely amazing. She's been at hospital or been in SPD for 20 years. She's just amazing. And if I have a question, about sterile processing or trays or bioburden, I'll call her, and she's just so friendly, so receptive. And I could go on and on and on. And I know
I'm just thinking of people like you're right. Like you call and they're there. Green Gold and Jamel Ross.
Yes.
Bonding, Anthony, people who are not on the board. Like but you call Tori, Tori Reyes out in California. Like you call, and they're gonna share that information with you immediately.
They want to help. They want to help, and I love it. I love it.
Okay, so let me ask you this final question, and I do thank you for taking the time. Just being with us down here in Dallas and us having this show. So you say your background is, you come from business. I know you have an MBA, business development. So did you expect to fall in love with the people at SPD like the way you have? Because you're all in.
I am
all in.
I am. I did not expect to fall so hard for sterile processing, but it melts my heart. I have not met one individual that says, oh, I dislike this. I hate this job. Every encounter I have made, they do it for the people. They do it to help save lives. And they get such little recognition. And it's like, I love this because, these are good people. And I want to be around them, and they lift me up. I'm going in there trying to lift them up, and it's I mean, it's just amazing. You know, I walk away and I'm like, I'm the one that has been blessed. But no, I did not expect it, but I have never been happier.
Oh, yay. Guys, this is Casey Prew. If you don't know, connect with Casey. She is on LinkedIn. Man, I'm telling you, she's always, you're going to see her doing things, posting things. She's connected with different individuals. So her name is Casey Prew. Please connect with her. That's CASEY, last name PREW, Casey Prew. We're in the same room right now. So forgive me for not having it on the board. But yeah, connect with her on LinkedIn. You can't go wrong with connecting with her. And so, Casey, I just want to say thank you so much. Before we go, if there was anything you could say, is there anything else that you might like to say, or something you would want to shout from the rooftops regarding sterile processing, just regarding life? We just came off of a very beautiful weekend.
Yes,
So,
yes.
is there anything you would want to share, or extra, or no pressure? No pressure.
Well,
No pressure.
No, not at all. I mean, I would just like to share, whether it's sterile processing or something personal in your life or professionally. Don't judge a book by its cover. Get in there and get to know that person or what they do. Understand what they do before you maybe misjudge. But I tell you what, I want to say thank you to all the sterile processing professionals out there. Thank you for all that you do.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Casey, thank you so much. Thank y'all for being with us this evening. And so hope you enjoyed the show. Please let us know where you're watching from. And if you're watching on the replay, please just put #replay. That's the # and replay. We'll see you guys soon.